Reiki, Chapter 5. Even in the 8th decade of her life, Mrs. Takata was a very attractive woman, small-boned, less than 5 feet in height, and weighing slightly over 90 pounds. Her motions were quick and decisive, and she moved with the ease of a young person, upright and graceful. In these later years, she still had the fresh, smooth skin, like that of a child, with few lines and wrinkles in her face. Her gray hair was only betraying sign of age. Her appearance belied her years, and few people upon meeting her for the first time would have suspected that she was an octogenarian. One such person was an official in charge of senior citizen discounts on the tickets he was selling, who accepted her word that she was eligible for this consideration, but he flatly refused to believe she was almost 80 years old. 65 perhaps, but not 80. She not only taught Reiki healing, she lived it. Her life was an exceptional demonstration of dedication to the ideals and principles of Reiki healing, taught by the masters who preceded her. She truly cared for people, often putting their welfare and comfort before her own, and she offered treatment freely to those she met along the way, at times for only a few minutes. Better some Reiki than none at all, she would say. She was very aware of hers being quite small, and upon one occasion commented on the large size of one of her students' hands. "Oh, what wonderful Reiki hands. You can cover so much area at one time." Small hers may have been, but they were powerful. She was a clear channel for the transmission of this healing energy, bringing 45 years of daily experience to her work. She lived quite simply, advocating a diet of many fresh vegetables and fruits, whole grains, fish and chicken, and although she would eat red meats, she did so sparingly. Her favorite home remedy was a mixture of fresh vegetables, watercress, beets, carrots, and celery, which she pureed in the blender and carried with her on her travels. She often recommended this juice to others, saying that it was an excellent blood builder, which energized the whole body. Golfing, at which she was quite accomplished, was her favorite exercise, and when she was in Honolulu, she walked to the golf course each morning to play. She liked to travel and especially enjoyed sightseeing in new areas that she had not previously visited, often seeking out the local golf courses. In the way of many who have known poverty and difficult times, Mrs. Takata was quite conservative in money matters. She had worked very hard and earned her own way in life, and as she became more affluent, her habits of economy remained deeply ingrained. She spent very little on her wardrobe, and although she dressed neatly, often colorfully, it was without stylish distinction. Those who knew her very well did not interpret the spiritual precept, "just for today, do not anger," to mean that she should never anger. She had a healthy temper and at times would display it, but these times were few. Few, and involved only extreme conditions. When these did occur, she immediately responded, saying what needed to be said, doing what needed to be done to clear the air, and then restore balance. Her way was to take care of it today, and not carry such energy over to the morrow. Mrs. Takata's life was not easy, being filled with many obstacles and responsibilities, which she turned into opportunities for growth. She worked very hard, suffered grief, sadness, overcame these difficulties, and in the process developed great strength. Although her social demeanor was quiet and unassuming, with the politeness of a well-bred Japanese lady, by no means could she be considered weak. She knew what she wanted, and she always figured out a way to achieve her goals. She had a lively personality with the simplicity and open curiosity of a child, asking questions and exploring new ideas, ever probing and learning. She combined the simplicity this simplicity with an insight which is found only in wisdom. So, to those with whom she felt a close connection, she offered advice. A student in one of her early classes remembers her not only as his Reiki healing teacher, but also as a woman who would give him lectures, counseling him for hours when he felt that he had been demoted and wanted to quit his job, telling him, "You can't let things get you down. You are more valuable as an outdoor man. A town man is not your way. Always have in mind to do good things. Also in the community, then you will go ahead. You will get ahead and you will be respected." Her personal conversation was filled with admonishments, and she advised one student, "If you plan to remarry, marry a young man. If you marry an old man, he'll just get sick. Then you'll have to take care of him." She often reminded her classes to give thanks and to express gratitude for what they received. One student took this to heart, saying that one must always be aware that Reiki was a gift from God, and whenever healing occurred, the practitioner could not take any credit for it. Mrs. Takata smiled, palms together, and quietly responded, "God does not care if you brag a little." As a teacher, she spoke simply and with power. This is the way you do Reiki. Yet those who participated in more than one class found that she adjusted her instruction for each group, never presenting the information in the same way twice. At times she would tell her students to start the treatment with the head. Other times she'd tell them to start with the abdomen, or she might say, "It really doesn't matter where you start as long as the complete treatment is given." She encouraged them to develop their intuitive feel for Reiki and to do what seemed right for them individually, while observing the basic hand placements which she taught. Her method of presentation was an oral one, combined with demonstration, and she did not encourage note-taking, saying, "Just do it. Do Reiki. Reiki, Reiki, and then you shall know." She was a strict teacher, and should students be so rude as to whisper in class, she did not hesitate to draw them back into the business at hand, clapping her hands together and saying imperiously, "Students, pay attention to what I am saying." She had a ready smile with a quiet humor, finding much to amuse her in life because she was a very alert, quick-witted. Little escaped her attention. An excellent judge of people, her assessments were at times uncomfortably accurate, although she seldom voiced publicly any personal criticism. Instead, she focused upon the positive and offered compliments wherever possible. Along with her strength came an implacable quality where Reiki healing was concerned. She allowed most of the foibles of humanity to flow by without comment, but she did not accept any nonsense in the discussion of Reiki healing. She took her work very seriously, clarifying without hesitation the misconceptions held by another. When she shook her finger at someone, it emphasized her convictions gained through many years of experience, and there was no arguing with her on this subject. She was the authority, and there was no mistaking it.